Screen Bros with another a banging movie review. This time,
banging.
Yeah. This time we decided to sit down, and I've been looking forward to this. But old James Gunn, Suicide Squad, number 2. All right.
I mean, number 2. I guess you could call it number 2.
Suicide Squad 2.
Suicide Squad.
But Steve, go ahead. What's your hot take? Let's get straight into it. Give me a hot take.
Hot take. So coming out the gate, I was really excited about this movie because I fucking hated the first one. That movie is one of the worst movies I've ever seen. Like,
it was really bad. Worst ever seen. Not me personally, but it was bad.
It's a badass. Like, there's nothing redeemable about that movie other than maybe Harley Quinn's acting ability in that. Or sorry, Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn. Yeah. Harley Quinn, her acting ability. Sure, cool, whatever. But I was excited about this movie. I was really high on it going in, and something about it didn't really click with me. I felt like it was missing something. I liked it, but I didn't at the same time, and I still can't figure out what it is that I'm not 100% with.
Yet that we agree with this entirely. This movie, I think for me, this was just a just a good movie. It wasn't something that was captivating for me, right? That was the kind of I couldn't quite. I wasn't immersed, but I wasn't looking away. You know, that was it for me.
Right.
So I can't put my finger on it either.
Exactly. Like when they announced the cast for this, and obviously this movie has been in production for a long time just because of COVID and everything with every other movie that's going on. Sure. Cool. So I'm already sold on Idris Elba.
The cast.
That's all you had to say.
The cast.
Idris Elba is going to be in this movie. I'm watching this movie, right?
Oh my God.
You got John Cena as well. Okay.
Can you name a bad Idris Elba movie? You watch Luther? Did you do Luther at all?
No. Yeah, it's amazing.
There's
so nothing good. Idris Elba has done. Even if he's in it and it's bad, Idris Elba is still good. And just in this movie, Idris Elba is still great in this movie. He doesn't do anything wrong. There's nothing bad about his character, but something along the way just loses the luster for the movie. Like, by the time you get to the third act and it climaxes, I was like, that was it?
Yeah.
I was expecting more. I don't know.
Yeah, and I get it. I kind of like the ending a little bit. It's left it kind of wide open, but yeah. What about Peacemaker? What about Peacemaker? You mentioned Peacemaker.
Okay.
Old
We're going to
Cena.
spoiler it up already. Yeah, old John Cena coming out. I loved how ridiculous his costume looked. It fit the character perfect because, yeah, he's supposed to be all patriotic and about peace, but in reality, he's not. He's
wearing
just
the toilet seat.
Exactly, the toilet seat. I will say one of the best parts of this movie to me was the fight scene in which the camera's rotating around the helmet on the ground and they're fighting. Him and Flag are fighting. I thought that was genius. Amazing camera work, amazing cinematography.
This might be one of the first times we go. So that was cool. The idea, the concept was cool, but the function of it kind of blew my mind because it was rotating, but they were imposed. So they did not move. So that kind of, I was like, wait, hold on. As I was watching, I was like, this is cool, but it's kind of taking me out because maybe I'm being too logical about this.
Yeah, so if you were to do that in real life, obviously you're going to see the camera. There's no way to do that in,
Well, it's not the camera. It's not the camera.
It.
They were on almost a two-dimensional plane. They weren't moving around the helmet. They stayed at one spot, but the camera was moving around the helmet. So their position, this is way too deep. I know I'm going way too deep into this.
Well, no, the CGI is what happens. So they superimposed them from fighting on a green screen, whatever, onto that onto the helmet.
Yep.
Because there's no way you could rotate around a chrome helmet without seeing the camera do it.
Oh yeah.
One famous scene in cinema is from The Matrix, in which Keanu and Morpheus go to grab the door handle, and you're literally looking at a door handle that's mirroring what they're seeing. What you don't see is the camera lens, but if you actually stare long enough at the photo still of that scene, the camera is covered with Morpheus's jacket. So the camera's there, you just don't see it because it's not the focal point of the scene. It's literally like in his hand as he's trying to open it.
That movie set ridiculous standards.
Oh, it really did. It was way ahead of its time, and I kind of want to watch it again.
So I don't want to leave this cast stuff yet. So what else we got? So one that we just I briefly mentioned it. Usually Steve and I don't try to talk about anything movie related before, but I had a personal favorite that I had no idea was what Nathan Fillion was TDK, and I had no idea while I was watching the movie. And I'm a huge Castle fan. Him, Nathan Drake, all the stuff he's done, awesome. Firefly, all that stuff's great. I was blown away that I even saw it. Like, what the hell? He was in this? I have to go back and watch that, and I did, and that's exactly what I did.
What's really funny is I got my wife watching this old show. It was in the 90s. It's called Two Guys, a Girl, and a Pizza Place. I believe that is one of his first acting roles alongside of Ryan Reynolds and some other people. And that show is way better than it should be. And he's playing basically he's basically getting his acting chops comedically in that show, and it shows. You know, the first couple of episodes he's in, he's not really good, and then towards the end, he's really good. I have a soft spot for him and Ryan Reynolds, both being Canadian, you know, whatever.
Yeah, here it is.
Gotta represent.
Sneaking in there.
You know, do my thing. So anything that Nathan Fillion's in, I'm automatically a fan of. He dressed up as Captain Canuck one year for Halloween, and that seals it for me. He's one of my favorite actors. So yeah, when I heard he was going to be in this movie too, I was like, fuck yeah. Then I heard all the other people that were going to be in this movie, and my brain automatically did what this movie wrote, which is you can't have this many people in the movie unless people are going to fucking die quick.
Yeah.
And guess what? They die quick.
It was great. So, and I love how that set the standard for the rest of the movie, like any of these guys. I felt, almost any of them. I don't think too many of them had plot armor, you know, but I was like, oh, this guy could maybe
Harley
go.
Quinn definitely.
Yeah,
the only person that has plot armor for sure is Harley Quinn. Now, did I think the whole A and B squad was an amazing touch to this movie? Yes. You put Harley Quinn, Flag, Captain Boomerang in the squad with the unknown people that we're just learning about, and you're like, okay, they're not going to die, whatever. They were the diversion for the A squad to come in.
It was great.
Right.
I thought it was fantastic.
That just shows that there is a correlation between the first and second movie, because Amanda Waller, who is the whatever you want to call it, general or what have you of this group.
And by the way, before you move on from that, that was the only redeeming from the first movie. Viola Davis. She does her part amazing. Amanda Waller, she does it perfectly in this movie and pretty good in the last one. So
I agree with that. She was how would I say?
Obviously, she didn't have a huge part. I mean, she was the bad guy for the most part, but she did great. She plays that perfectly. It immediately reminds me of the 90s Justice League that I would watch all the time, and that she would appear in. You know, she did it perfectly.
That makes sense. Right, but for her to basically show that I'm trying to get rid of Harley Quinn, Flag, and Captain Boomerang, who were from the first movie and defied her, she's literally setting them up to die to get rid of them.
Yep.
Right? Genius.
Perfect.
Do it in a way that no one's going to know, or, you know, what have you. And then you have the reveal of Idris Elba, King Shark, or whatever his real name is, Peacemaker, Ratcatcher 2.
Yeah, the 3 days later or day of again, where they pan back. That was perfect. I think they did such a good job.
I liked it. Yeah, I did like it. It threw me a little for a loop at first when I saw it. I was like, wait. Pete Davidson's face got blown off. Why is he still alive? And I was like, oh, 3 days later. Right, I got you.
Yep.
And yeah, there's only one little thing in the beginning that kind of gets me, and that's, okay, so Pete Davidson's character, don't remember his name, not important.
The Blackguard. Go ahead, keep going.
Okay, Blackguard, sure. Walks up to like the tree line to say, hey, I'm here, whatever. When would he and how would he have time to contact these people to make a deal?
Yeah, there's a lot of, for me, I know you're getting into like kind of like the plot of it.
Sure.
But a lot of these are just such B characters for me, like the rat, even in the A-list squad. What is the Rat Queen and the Polka Dot guy? I'd never even heard of them before this movie, to be 100% honest.
So I remember, okay, this is going to skew the lines of Marvel DC, but I know there's a character in Marvel that was like a polka dot man or something in the Spider-Man animated series in the 90s, where he would throw polka dots and you could like go to different dimensions with them. I don't know if it was Polka Dot Man. I can't remember his name, but that's what I remember.
Well, that sounds,
but it was Black Dots or something
right
like
around
that.
his powers, the dimensional dots, quote unquote.
Kind of. Did I think he was going to be a little more fleshed out? yes. That was one of the letdowns I had with it, because you're showing this character who's throwing up these glowing orbs or whatever you want to call it, and it's like a sickness for him, and he's got to do this and do that, but there's no payoff to it. Like, I thought he was going to be the one to like blow up and take on Starro at the end and take it out.
I had that vibe too, but he just blew off his little
nothing
leg.
really happens. And maybe that's what the whole idea was, is like you're building him up and all of a sudden he gets fucking squashed by Starro and that's it. Okay, but
could be. This movie, wasn't very predictable to me. Well, most of this movie wasn't very predictable for me. So
the only predictable thing that I saw, I knew John Cena was going to turn on somebody. I knew it.
Yeah. So yeah, I got that vibe too. That was
the minute I saw him, whatnot. I do want to talk about the best scene in the movie, and that's where him and Idris Elba are going toe for toe.
Oh, so
trying
good.
to outdo each other by killing people. John Cena walking by that dude laying down and just fucking hatching him to death was the best part of the movie.
Yeah. With no care in the world. Perfect.
Right.
Portrayed it perfectly.
And then they come up upon him who's supposed to be chained up or whatever, and he's just shooting the shit, drinking tea with her, and they're like, wait a second, what? And they're like, where's all my guys?
And they killed all
I don't know.
So good.
But the genius in that is that Amanda Waller sent them there to say that Flag was being captured. She knew he wasn't. So she sent them there to kill all those people. Genius.
I've always really liked James Gunn. Really, the directing and the writing of this, I thought was fantastic. I thought it was super good.
Exactly. I think that's why I was going into this excited.
The only place where I think, so I got some of these backstories. I know they wanted to give them. They kind of took me out a little bit, but that is literally the only gripe I had with some of these. Some of these backstory scenes kind of brought me out. Well, I like the rat lady. I was like, okay, this is a little so much. She's also abnormally nice. She's such a sweet character.
Right, yeah.
She's so sweet.
I will say, I popped for Taika Waititi in this movie as Ratcatcher's father. I love him. Anything he's in or writing, directing, whatnot, I am here for.
Yep.
If he ever teams up with Nathan Fillion, life is over for me. I can die a happy man.
Also, some other cast choice. I mean, obviously James Gunn did what was it? Guardians of the Galaxy, right? That was
Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and 2, or Volume 1 and 2.
You had a couple of those guys. You had the Savant and the Weasel, which are the old Ravagers, right? Wandu.
Right, so the Weasel is actually played by his brother, who actually does the special effects stand-in for Rocket Raccoon in Guardians of the Galaxy. Sean Gunn, correct.
Yep.
He was also Calendar Man in this, which, if you blink, you'll miss it. He's in the beginning yelling out something, fuck you, or whatever, to everybody in the jail.
Ooh.
Yeah, little fun fact there. Yeah. So, I don't know. Again, this movie was well done. It was well shot. The effects and everything were great. Just something about it. I think the whole, hey, we're all villains, and we're taking on people to save the world. Where's Batman or Superman?
I was expecting like a little Superman cameo with what is it?
Or
at the end of the film, was it?
Yeah, or okay, so you could sit here and say that this is just a little thing, because even Amanda Waller kind of says, fuck them, it's their own little country, we don't care about them, it's not going to worry about anything. But you have this giant starfish who is able to infect people and control them in such a fast and crazy way.
That was a part.
Why wouldn't
that
be a big thing?
Old Justice League thing. Superman gets taken over by
Starro,
this. Yes, there's I mean, I was hoping for something small like that to come along, but I wasn't mad that it didn't, to be honest. But yeah.
No, and for a movie that's going to have a villain like Starro in it, it has to be stupid.
Yeah.
Because you can't take this seriously, a giant starfish from space. You know, like, I thought they handled it very well. I thought the design of him could only be over the top and ridiculous, so make it fucking pink and purple. The minute that spear came out and that guy died and she said, what am I going to do with this? I was like, you're going to fucking kill whoever is at the end with it. That's fine with me. And I'm okay with that in some parts in movies. I just don't like it to be beaten over my head that this is special and something's going to happen with it, which they didn't, but
I liked how they made it so that whole, it felt like a joke. That whole thing felt like a joke to me, like giving her the spear. I mean, I felt like they knew that we were going to know. So I was okay with it. I was 100% okay with it.
And that's what I'm saying. I'm fine with something like that. I'll even say another part in the movie that I really liked is the villain dude who you think is going to be the bad guy is given that villain speech in front of Harley, and she just fucking shoots his ass.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like,
that's great.
All right, I didn't see that coming.
That was great.
But that's what a villain would do to another villain. You know what I mean? Like, the good guy lets the bad guy talk and get his monologue out of the way, and then they fight. A bad guy's going to say, shut the fuck up. Boom, you're dead.
Yeah.
And I like that. And that dude bled a lot. Hold on. Let's talk about how gory this fucking movie is for a second.
Oh, dude, it's so good.
I was not ready for it, okay? Like, okay, James Gunn has done numerous movies for Marvel, and obviously you can't go super gore.
They set it up, that intro that you were just talking about, when they start blowing everybody up and bodies and heads getting... I was like, oh, so this is how this is going to be. The rest of this movie is going to be like this. Okay, cool.
Not only that, I thought the tone was set when you're looking at Savant or whatever his name was, and he throws that ball and kills that bird. I went, okay, it's on. You kill a bird, and you show it like that, nothing's off the table.
Yep. I thought it was great. Old bird ball. I'm going to write that down. I'm going to cut that scene in there. I like that one.
Yeah. No, so like, again, the movie's good, but it's not what I thought it was going to be, and to me, that brings it down to, like, I don't know if I'm ever going to watch this again. Like, there was nothing redeemable to me to keep my interest. Like,
the replayability
was in it, I watched it. Right, there's a great amount of good jokes that all land, but I don't know, like, nothing really exciting happens. Like, yeah, they go to that Jotunheim or whatever, which was a little weird to me too, because you have Asgard that has Jotunheim in it when they go to where Loki's from.
Yeah. So
and then this is called the same thing.
You're putting that with Marvel, but that's just actual.
Yeah. No, sure.
But I get it. I get it.
On the nose, yeah.
So. Well, for me, so you mentioned right out the gate you couldn't quite pin it, right? So you couldn't quite pin why you weren't 100% with this movie. And I think I'm the same boat with you. So my score for this, and we went over this, every little piece of this. I just went through it. I think the only thing we didn't really touch too much is effects, but I thought it was amazing. I thought the effects were great.
The CGI was really good. There was only one or two times where I was like, whatever. But it didn't take me out of the movie.
Everything else I thought was done pretty well. Yeah. But what we were talking about, where we couldn't quite put a pin in this, I thought, so when I went to go do my scoring, I was going through my scores, and I actually thought I was going to be less than what I would have got. So I and that's a testament to me not knowing what is wrong with this. To me, it's scored good, but I can't figure out what, to me, didn't bring me in. I don't know. I don't know if it's character development. I don't know if there's too much going on. I can't pin it for me. But
sure.
You want to do the big boy score, Steve?
Do the overall?
Overall, you ready for that? Are we ready for this? So I'll go first. I'll go first. You're better at articulating, so I'll give my measly score first. I gave it a 76, and I think that's high. I expected it to be less than that, but
motherfucker. Okay, real quick, we're gonna talk about how we are perfect to do this together. I gave this a 77.
We always line up, and if we don't line up, it's because one of us is being overly honest about their emotional state of this, and that was Space Jam. And I couldn't get past part of it. But yeah, no, this is the scoring system does it, man. The scoring system does it.
It does not lie. I think we set up a very good scoring system.
This was all Steve, by the way. The scoring system was Steve. I don't know if he took any inspiration from somewhere else, but this is all Muscolzi's scoring system. I really didn't. Nailed it.
I sat down. I was like, if I was going to, thank you. If I was going to score a movie, what are 10 criteria that needs to be talked about to make it a good movie? And if you're going to do it out of 100, give each one of those a 10. And out of 100, there's your score, just like you're scoring a paper in school. So it doesn't lie. I've done it with numerous movies that I do on my podcast as well. I think about it. I write down what it is, and it always comes up as a good number. And this movie, again, I don't know what I don't like about it, but it's not that I hate this movie and it's not a good movie. there's just something missing. And I think what's missing is there's no good guy versus bad guy. So you don't get that payoff in the end when the good guy wins, right? It's just the bad guys that are cool because they're bad, but they're good.
That could be it. That's perceptive. That could be it. That could be it. There's no one to really latch onto that you want to. It's hard to. That, like you said, the payoff, it's hard to latch onto someone to hope they make it through, because all these guys are assholes. You know?
Right, and the main bad person is actually the only good person there, the Amanda Waller character, because she's the one working for the government, but yet she's trying to withhold these secrets and do these things, and she's being shitty, and she's going to blow their heads up, and then the people have to stick up for the bad guys, and it's a weird situation where I'm not sure if this works, and maybe that's what it really comes down to is we're villains, but we're cool, so we're not villains, but we're still shitty people. I don't know.
Could be it, man. Could be it. I can't pin it.
As long... I did like that they didn't look in the camera and go, hey, it's not like we're some kind of Suicide Squad.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, all right, thanks for not doing that like you did Will Smith in the first fucking movie.
Yeah. No. Yeah,
but
I
will say, I did not see Flag dying in this at all. Obviously, when they did the post-credits scene, we knew it was going to be Cena because there's a show coming out on HBO Max called The Peacemaker. So how you going to kill him off unless you're doing a prequel, which they said is not a prequel? You knew he was going to be alive at the end. I did like how he got shot through a bullet after talking shit about bullets.
Yeah.
That was a cool callback. But
it was also really good that their bout and them being identical and sharing all the same traits and all this other stuff. The fact that he came out
and that
top,
was another
the bullets
Amanda Waller kind of genius thing. Like, hey, I'm going to put these two people together, and you guys are literally going to be the same, and you're going to talk about that and hate each other for it. Yeah.
Man, she's one of my favorite villains. The whole Justice League stuff is one of my favorite. Okay, so we got a 77 and a 76. I think it's a high C. Would you tell these people that they should go watch this movie, Steve? What would you recommend to the viewers out there and listeners? What would you say, man?
If anybody's listening or watching, I would recommend going to see this movie or watching it on HBO Max, because you can do that if you have that. It's not going to blow your socks off, but there are some cool bits in it. There is some cool, how would I say, action scenes, but nothing that you're going to go, wow, I've never seen that before, or man, that was fucking crazy. But it's all in all, it's a very good watch. It's just not something you need to think about after you've done watched it.
Yep, I'm there with you. Go out and see this movie. Make sure if you liked what you see today, if you like me and Steve's take on Suicide Squad, that you hit this little like button down below, or the subscribe. Comment if you can. Yeah. Comment. Tell us if we suck.
I'm wrong.
Yeah. Tell me my hair is terrible. This new haircut is terrible. Tell Steve he's a beautiful human being. Just leave a comment, Say something.
Leave a comment. Subscribe. Do something. Whatever. Tell us what we could do better, or if there's any movies or TV shows you guys want us to review, we'll do anything. We're here.
Yeah. I'm really jumping on this idea to do some video games here soon. I'm there. I'm going to talk to Steve as soon as we're done. But
we're going to try.
This is the end of the movie review. Thank you for stopping by. We'll talk to you later. Until next time, I'll see you later.
Yeah, bye.